How many of you guys have this sheet? Okay. We wanted to play just a real quick little game, maybe for some prizes. So does anyone have an answer to any of the questions on this sheet? If you do, raise your hands. And then we can talk about it just for a second while everybody gets in here. No? Do you have the sheet? Okay. How about my filmmaker friend over there? I do too. Who knows the movie Gaslight? Okay. So it's on the first question. So where was the homage to Gaslight? Do you know? No? Okay. Does anyone know? What about the lights? The gas lights flickering when she sees dead Lyvia, right? Okay. Anything else? Anyone else want to try to guess any of this stuff? How about Cody? No. Okay. All right. Should we? Oh, there she is. Let's give Lyvia a hand, everyone. Yeah, she and I, truthfully, were both a little disappointed that we didn't see the dress that much when Georgie discovers her, his friend. And so we decided to give you a special surprise. It kind of kills one of the twists of the story, but we thought it's a special occasion, and everybody now gets to see the dress, so there you go. What did you think of the scene where Tara, the girl, sees Lyvia at the top? It's the same actress though, right? Right. Okay. All right, well, we're ready for questions if you have any.
Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I do. How long did it take to shoot this from beginning to end?
Do you mean including the pickup shots?
Yes. How many days?
I think it was about 38 because we actually spent 5 days shooting B-roll before the principal started. So we actually just drove around for a week around Nicholas shooting like the beehives and the cherry blossoms or the almond blossoms, and so I don't know if I'm really including that. So it might have been closer to 40 shooting days, including that.
You had 5 days between me and Frank were doing some stuff too, right? Yeah, about 40.
About 47 days.
But the principal photography, we had 24 days to shoot the whole story from start to finish. And then the B-roll stuff was after. We did a lot of that after, so.
Before and after, essentially the blessing of digital filmmaking, if you can call it that, is that during edit, once you've shot a feature, you're able to then be like, oh, I needed this, I didn't get this, so I would be editing it, and I'd be able to reach out to Cody and Kevin and be like, hey, you know what, we really need an establishing of the house that we missed, that we didn't get. So we were then able to pick up, I think throughout 2022, while we were editing, maybe we shot some additional, like just exteriors and atmospheric little things there.
I'll tell you, there was one shot, it's my favorite shot, and I'm so glad it made it in the scene. And when you come into the living room of that house, and there's that big high window, and it's like 6 little windows there, you see it for what, like not even 3 seconds, 10 seconds. Cody did it. I got up one morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I saw the moon shining in through that window, and I saw the reflection, and it just looked so spooky, but also kind of beautiful. And I told Nico about it, and he said, that's a great idea. We don't have time during the principal, that's gonna take a long time. And maybe we can do it after. And it took Cody 6 hours to set up that shot. 6 hours, just so you could see, just because, right? And Kevin was there, I think Kevin was working.
And as a tribute to cinematography, I thought a lot of B-roll could stand on its own and still photograph some of that beautiful.
Wow, that's
Really
very
sweet of
nice.
you to say. Thank you so much.
There were some beautiful, beautiful moments, I thought.
Yeah, so I'll say that, as you might have guessed, my husband is a rice farmer and he was born and raised in Nicholas. And I think when he brought me up there, you know, the city girl from the East Coast and all that, but he didn't realize that I was raised in a very rural area. And he thought I really wasn't gonna like it. And I just fell in love with it. It's the people. The girl in the post office, Mary Ann, there's a real Mary Ann in the Nicholas post office.
I went to high school with her.
Yeah, we now call her the real Mary Ann when we ever refer to her, right? And if you, Mike Bechtel, we used to own a tavern, saw that we put her on the wanted poster behind Georgie's head, and it said wanted for mail fraud, so, you know, hopefully she still has a job, you know? And, yeah, so like I loved living in Nicholas and going into that little post office, and I didn't know where anything was, and she was really just like that character, you know, you wanna do this, and you wanna go here, and, you know, you live in a place where your post office, it's just not like that. It's like the sort of the center of our little town over there. And then I also, I hate the Hollywood trope of farmers, because they're either, you know, Leatherface, or they're John Boyd Walton, you know, so it's really not like that, and I just wanted to show it, you know, that's it, so just wanted to say that, and it's very beautiful there, I think, so.
And your Easter eggs are wonderful. These little things that you'd hide in there. You
Like
know,
what?
It's worthy of seeing the film again, just to see the little Easter eggs, the little hidden things, I thought that was very smartly done.
You noticed them, thank you. Like what? Tell us one, flatter
Well,
us.
six thing, obviously, it became obvious here and there.
What was
But,
that,
yeah,
six?
and-
Yeah.
But I still don't know what the six means.
Right.
Okay. But I started spotting this, and obviously the significance of the masks
Mm-hmm.
goes beyond my knowledge as well.
Mhm.
But I clearly saw that there were definitely messages that I probably need to see again. I paid attention.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very good, very good. It's good if you do that, you know, it's good if a film can make you want to see it again. That's important.
That's so nice to hear. We had a lot of homages to different films, and the six does have significance. Do you want to tell what the six significance?
The behind the scenes or the canon event that we put, there's a couple of them. I'm not gonna lie, I've forgotten what some of the significance is, but mainly it is the time that Lyvia is murdered. The way that it began as an accident, which we then worked into the narrative and drove it more and more. And then one of the CG shots that we never completed was when Lyvia returns home and is murdered. The clock is stopped at 6 o'clock. In contrast to, if you notice, when Tara comes home and the same killer awaits her, she gets home at 5:59, and that's right when Johnny unplugs the electricity or tears the cord out, which was our way of saying, like, it's 5:59, it's not 6, maybe she's gonna left, you know? Yeah. And then we just started peppering the film with some sixes here and there, but I'm glad it was noticed, that's cool.
Yeah.
Did you paint the six on the power pole? Or
That's
was that
fake.
already there?
That was
No,
fake,
that's fake.
that's fake.
Ah.
Well, actually, there's two power poles. One is a real graffiti thing, which I think PG&E does something, I don't know, I never understood that actually. But no, one of them was real towards the end when Emery drops, Marianne, drops Johnny off. That one's real, and then when the cemetery scene, that was actually digital composite that we did actually film.
They digitally took off Joshua's tattoo. Joshua has a tattoo here. There's a really interesting story behind this tattoo, which I hope to
Maybe the
tell you
behind the
someday.
scenes extras.
Yeah, but it was a young, we used a lot of locals for many things, but this person who did some of these things for us was a very young artist in Pakistan, and nobody would give us a reasonable price. They're all reasonable prices, but a price that we could afford to get this tattoo off, and they kept saying it's really hard because he's moving and this and that, and he said, I'll do it. And he just kept showing us, you know, little things, and Nico kept writing back to him and giving him suggestions. It took him about 2 weeks to do it, I think, right?
He did a remarkable job given this, and to be fair, we did remove it with makeup. It's just that we did it and then we shot it and then we got the footage back and we were like, oh, it looks really, really bad. And so then it was at that point that we realized that we needed something to blend it out.
And he did the 6 on the thing as well. He did a couple of things.
Quite a few things, yeah.
I saw lots of situations where there was, well, I definitely saw the day for night, night for day,
Mhm.
like that. So that must have been sort of a complicated thing to work with as well.
Do you wanna answer that, or?
Whoever wants to.
Go ahead.
Okay. That was actually a last minute decision. I entered this film with the film school ethos of day for night is poison. You never do day for night. That's what they did in bad westerns. Never do it, never do it, never do it. And I said, I refuse to do it. I told Cody, day for night sucks. Right? Cody's like, yeah, we're not doing that. And then we get to the end of the movie, and our entire aesthetic, the idea was Tara descends into hell. So the film gets warmer and warmer as Johnny approaches, and that the idea was sort of like an inferno. It's actually a Doctor Who episode called Inferno that was my influence for it, where everything just gets hotter and hotter. And so that was the idea of the orchard. The orchard, we shot that at 3 p.m. The reason we didn't shoot it at golden hour, one, it's golden hour and you only get 15 minutes, and we had a very elaborate scene. Secondly, the orchard would be nothing but shadow by 4 p.m. So we only had a really, but the idea of the color grade was still to continue with that motif, was to still have that descent into an inferno. We tried it and it just didn't. And then, so me and Cody and the colorists, we spun our wheels for a bit until one of us came up with, it was the Wolfman, the 1941 Wolfman. I thought of Lon Chaney Jr.'s final chase through the thing, and it was very Hollywood and very artificial, but in a really beautiful way. And so we said, okay, well, what if we embrace artifice, and what if we actually throw back to day for night and say, hey, you know what, we're taking it back, we're reclaiming it. Let's do day for night. And then we realized that we were going to do the opposite of what we intended, which was we go from hot to very cool, as though the darkness is swallowing them and it could go either way. So, yeah, I don't think it's something I do again. I think I try to find a way to, but you know, so much of this you make up as you go, because the script originally called for it to be a nighttime orchard chase. And I told Patricia we have no money, that's just not because I was like, unless you want to shoot the whole thing close up, so you need endless lights to light a whole orchard. So we tried to do 3 p.m. and make it look more like 6 p.m. That failed, and then we just said, hey, the sun went down. Or at least it went down, and then at the end, when it gets warm again, that's implied to be like, well, maybe the sun came back up, and that's Lyvia's essence or poltergeist or whatever at dawn, or it could be that the sun was just below the horizon, hence the orchard was dark, but the rest of it
Yeah,
was...
she escapes the house. She's locked in that house, the ghost of Lyvia, because, her death hasn't been avenged. Nobody knows what happened. And then once, and she's helping Tara the whole time. She unlocks the door for her and all of that. And then once, everything's revealed, she's out of the house. And she's on the roof, and she's, using her little paintbrush that she kind of painted the story in some ways.
Well, I think it worked for you, because at the very end, when you see Lyvia on top of the house, you can see the angle of the sun, it was really low. And so, being in an orchard, and they're quite dense, and then you start losing color in there too. So actually, in my opinion, it worked well.
Thank you. I was really hoping that someone would think that as well, and I guess...
Dean is the one-up farmer, just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
He's not that smart, he's just funny.
Okay. The special effects person, also when she's running towards the orchard, you might not have noticed, there's a bit of a moon just showing, like how sometimes you see that in the daytime, and that was just to imply, the sun's really getting low now, and before you know it, we're gonna start to see it's gonna get darker, so we did that. Yes, yeah?
Yes, how did you get started writing screenplays? And do you have other efforts that are ongoing?
Oh, me, oh my, okay, funny you should say that. We absolutely want to do one more here in this community. one more. We have a couple of other things on tap as well. I should really let you take this over and tell you this, but I'll just say one thing. You gave me the idea, and you gave me the idea. Because, well, I don't, should we?
How you started writing, I
Oh.
can't answer that.
Oh, okay. This was during COVID, okay? I'm a novelist, and I have a book trilogy that I was really lucky, I was so happy because it was really kind of taking off. It's set on the Queen Mary. The third book came out November 2019. They had a big event on the Queen Mary, which is down in Long Beach, so it's a real ship, you know, it's a historic ship. And I was so excited that they had this event and they were doing, you know, everything about this book, and then of course the ship shuts down because of COVID. It shut down for 3 years, okay? And I was like, okay, there goes my trilogy. First, I was saying that. And then I started looking around and I realized every single author was in the same boat. And some people had debut books and they were in tears because everything was closed and there goes your whole book thing. And I just thought, you know what? It's a trilogy. If you read the first two, you'll find the third one. What am I going to do now? And I just thought about it. And in the meantime, Nico was in Greece trying to film something. And of course, they shut that down for COVID as well. We have a lot of actor friends. Nobody was doing it. And I just thought, well, why don't we do something when keep it COVID compliant and all that? And we had a really small cast. And I wrote the screenplay. And I sent it to a friend of mine, a really, really sweet guy. And he's an incredibly successful screenplay writer. His name is Mark Perry. And he's written for Brothers and Sisters and Revenge and Ghost Whisperer and The Wonder Years. He got an Emmy for that. I mean, just really humble, but really, really successful. And so I sent him the screenplay, and I said, just tell me what you think. You know, you don't have to. He said, this is wonderful. I could sell it for you. He said that to me. And I just said, all right, that's it. We're producing it. So that's how I get started with that.
The chair recognizes the young man on the back who oddly resembles someone from the film. What?
Yeah, I guess it's enthusiastically, I was blessed to have known Patricia for a very, very long time. And what she created here with Nico and the team locally has been extremely inspiring. You know, they say it takes a village to create something, and in this instance, of course, that's a literal truth. And obviously the support of the various councilmen and the town and all the people that came out for it. So after I had an opportunity to see this, I'm working really diligently with the team, and we're getting this sold. So it will be coming to streaming and opportunities to buy it online soon. So and the movie speaks for itself. It's, you know, the relationships that I have are extremely excited. So we'll have more to share on that. But over the course of the last couple of months, I've been sort of like, you know, enthusiastically pressuring. There's lots of things that Patricia's been writing, but I said, well, you know, wouldn't it be great for us to do some type of follow-up, you know, to the project? I'm not revealing too much, specifically because the opportunity to shoot in the community again and up here would be unbelievable. I spent the last few days up here, and I've discovered why I saw the beauty on the screen, but now being inspired creatively and fueling the creative fire. So I think that, you know, without getting too much into it, it's hard when you're a writer and a creator to leave politics out of it. And there's a lot of fascinating things that are happening in this community for farmers and the underlying water, you know, the water dilemma that I'm learning a lot about over the course of the last couple of months, and I know that the community's been living with it. So I think the next project or two will have a undertow, if I may.
Yeah.
In
That was
reference to
Mary
that.
Jane's. what Mary Jane said to me was that she liked the idea that there would be another thriller, another mystery, but also have the underlying theme of what farmers, particularly in the second film would be more about the rice farmers, but also we deal with floods, we deal with drought. The entire country is not aware that there's a rice community up here. It's really kind of wild. I mean, I understand, well, I forgive people in the Midwest and down that way, but even down in LA, people are not aware that, we have rice up here, and so you don't want to get political about that because people they turn it off, but it affects the entire world, really. If a rice farmer cannot grow rice if there's not enough water or if everything's flooded. That happened a couple of years ago in Pakistan. Pakistan was flooded, they had no rice. India was too dry, they couldn't grow enough, so they didn't export any. So that's great for us if we can grow rice, because then, it's not great for them, but at least we can export it and they can have rice, So there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's across the board. It's not just blue or red or whatever. And Mary Jane saw the film, and if you know who she is and you know why this was an interest to her, and she just took us on this tour. She said, I got this, I want to show you. Izzy was with her and my husband, and she's showing us all this stuff. We got to see the reservoir, all kinds of things. And do you remember what you said to me?
I said a lot that day. But
Yeah, where's Izzy? Is she here?
She just had to leave to go. up.
Okay, so Izzy said, see, you can put the dead body right there. And then I realized what this tour is about, okay? And it's a really smart idea, and I just started thinking about it, and I said, what if we have another character-driven, it's like in this film, I wanted people to see that women help each other. That's not the main theme of it, but like even the ghost is helping the other girls, and it passed the Bechdel test, if you know what that is. The Bechdel test is where women have conversations at least 3 times with each other and not always about a man. And you'd be really surprised how many movies don't pass the Bechdel test, right? Okay, they did talk about Johnny a lot, but let's face it, he was a sociopath. But they also discussed other things, right? And so, that was my undertone. I didn't hit people over the head with it, like girls have to like each other. I didn't do it, but that's like a big thing in my books. And so you just have this fun story. Who are these people? What happened? Blah, blah. But I just like the idea that the girl was so strong and she was going to find out who was, what was up, and that was all part of the undertone. And so if we do this second film here, the water will be part of it. And it's going to be done as a by the way type of a thing, so that it's not, it just makes people more aware of us as a community. And I kind of hope to get more businesses involved. Cody, Frank, and Donovan pretty much work by themselves. That cannot happen again. It cannot. I don't know how we pull this off, really. Everybody, how much weight did you lose, actually?
Go on, Cody, tell us how much.
25 pounds.
Did you really?
Like 120 pounds by the
Yeah.
end of it.
I mean, it was a lot
Around
more.
about 150.
Yeah, he would work,
He refused to feed him until he completed his work, so there we go.
I thought the production values were very high.
Stunning.
Considering, timeframe you had, and I don't know anything about your budget, but I'm gonna assume,
The budget was 5 figures.
well, I'll tell you what, I thought the look was really good.
So I'm incredibly kind of you to say it, and I think everyone on the stage appreciates that from the bottom of our hearts, because that's not so much a testament to the creative team, even though we take some credit for it. It's really everyone in this room and everyone who left who wasn't able to, it's like Nicholas just said, it took a village to build this. It was just this endless support from the community. I've never really seen anything like it. And I've always, my last film I tried to make was very much community in mind. I did it in Greece with a lot of different people who but that's neither here nor there. The point is that here, anything that you see on screen was just given to us by the kind heart of people. If it wasn't Mary Diner, or if it wasn't the plane, which was in a family plane that was in there for generations, and people were just like, use my tractor, use my plane, use my. It was just so I like to think that the Yuba Sutter community really helped make this film. You know, I mean, yeah, 5 people made it between the fact that it was Cody who wasn't just DB, but he was also he was doing 5 jobs. Tom was doing 5 jobs. I was doing 5 jobs. But it was the community that really helped us bring the community itself to life, and that's what was so cool about it. So thanks for saying that, because it's not just us, it's everybody here who did that. So cool.
Yes?
I have a question. So in the, I want to say like the first half of the film, there's a lot of red. What's the significance to the film?
Make something up.
I think that motif kind of continues, and a lot of times you do things accidentally, but the thing that I can, again, it's been a few years, but if I can consciously remember, Tara and Johnny are introduced with a red light and a white light. That was a big thing that Cody and I discussed, which is I knew that I wanted it to open with a crane pullback that revealed a couple in this slow motion kiss. One would be in white like an angel, and one would be in red like a devil. But I didn't, it's like Dean was saying about repeat viewings, I didn't want the viewer until the second viewing to really see that the red signified some sort of an evil. I was hoping that you would be interpreted as just passion, young love, just these 2 kids who just swept each other off each other's feet. And that was kind of the idea. And hopefully upon retrospect, rewatching it, that red takes on more of a sinister quality. Anybody else?
Did anyone notice the thing? Oh yeah, you had a question.
I don't have a question, I wanted to comment on, so it's kind of weird, but I just watched Mean Girls recently, and so you've seen that, you know what that's about.
Yes.
So watching this film, and I knew it was very, and it wasn't like, oh, that was a big thing, but I noticed the relationships between the women. That really stood out to me, because Mary Ann, like, would watch Tara, and you could tell she knew something was amiss.
That's right.
And then Tara's friend, whose name, I'm sorry, I
Helen,
forgot.
it's okay. Yeah.
And I don't speak in public much. She was always there for her. She was always being positive. She didn't judge her. I mean, I was just like, whoa, these relationships, these women are being what I wish all women would be to each other.
Thank you.
So
That
I
means a lot.
want to thank you for that part, because it's like, especially since I just saw Mean Girls.
That really means a lot. That was what I was going with. Thanks.
For me.
And you know, it's funny thing, one of my friends is sitting right here, and that's been the hallmark of we help each other. It's a really, you can't imagine what you can do if you have a community of women who help each other.
So thank
So,
you for doing that in the movie.
Thank you for saying it. Yes?
You talked a lot about the love and support that you got from the community to bring this film together. And I just wanted to say that in viewing the film, it really came across as a love letter back to the community, because the way you showcase the community and the beauty of the area.
That was my dream, and these guys did it.
Beautiful job.
They did it.
I think when Patricia hired both Cody and I, her whole ethos from the beginning was, I want to make Nicholas look beautiful, and as she touched upon it better than I, not to summarize your point from earlier, but basically there was a fatigue from seeing farming and agricultural and working class communities portrayed negatively on screen. And so she essentially wanted to do the antithesis of that. What was really cool is that I said no to the movie like 3 times, because I was like, I don't know how to do that. I'm an inner city kid from Athens, I don't know how to do any of this. Cody literally knocked on our door and said, I grew up in this community, and there's not going to be a movie made about this community without me being a part of it.
He really said that.
And we were just kind of like, yes sir, okay, cool. And so it was Cody's eye for Patricia had a love from the community as an outsider who became part of the community. Cody is an original member of the community. That joint passion for it was really what helped cement that love letter back from someone who's very much an outsider, being me. I just appreciate it, but Cody came in and said, hey, we should do it this way. And I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, so it was just really cool. It was that, those different gazes that helped bring that collage to fruition.
Yes?
In the credits, it had a shot, very brief, of all the locations
Yes.
of filming. Is there a way to get a better look at that? I was very interested to see where all.
I have that online, that's online, I know that the credits go by very quickly. The big thing for me was I wanted to thank everyone, and I mean, like, if somebody online gave us $5, their name's on there, you know, just everybody. And so I had a thing listed, and so then I thought, okay, they go by way too fast, and people don't know that their names are up there, you know? So I screenshot all the credits,
Okay.
and they are online on the Lyvia's House page, and you can see them there. And I just want, the one thing I do want to say is, a lot of those places, like, I mean, I'm the gentleman and lady, sorry, who own the Silver Dollar right here. So, what I want people to know is if they are making films, and it's a good idea, if you're going to approach people, they do need to be paid. I think we were really lucky that, you know, we were like kind of first time in and stuff. But I think that if people are gonna provide stuff for filmmakers, even if they wanna do it, you know, on a lower scale for indie filmmakers, if a big filmmaker should approach you, you should be paid because they're using your place, you know. So that's one thing. I wanted to make a statement about that because I got a little concerned, you know, people assuming that, oh, I'll just knock on this person's door and say, hi, I'm a filmmaker, can you just start doing this now? It was, I think, really a one-off thing, and that's truthfully, when we do the second film here, when and if, we need a much bigger budget, because I do plan to make sure that, you know, they're all paid this time. That's it. So.
Very nice.
Can I say something to that?
Sure.
As my husband and I are the silver dollar owners,
Yeah.
and like we appreciated being asked to be a part of it, and to see us as a little clip of the film, it does mean a lot to us. Even though, like you were telling us that we're portrayed in Vegas,
Mhm.
we don't care. It's just a little like, oh, that's cool kind of thing. So, of course, we're gonna appreciate the money. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it does, as a small community, we can still say, or we are here, look at this, we are world famous silver dollar, and we're even in a movie kind of thing. So don't discredit the idea of not coming to us in the future.
And you exist in multiple universes now. You exist in Las Vegas in fiction. Transcended the realm.
No, I want Nicholas to respond to what I'm saying, because I'm just gonna say that I think that's wonderful. And that's, unfortunately, that's also, it's wonderful, but even creatives will do that. They'll say, you don't have to pay me for this, or I'll give you my song for free, or I'll work for free. It just creates this atmosphere of people feeling that they shouldn't get paid for their work, okay? And our film was literally 5 figures. That's what we raised, that's what we had. It's the production value for the money that we had is ridiculous, and it's all to do with how everyone helped us. When you're doing Hollywood movies, or like isn't there gonna be a film here with, what's his name? It's in Sacramento, isn't it DiCaprio? Isn't DiCaprio coming to Sacramento?
I haven't talked to him in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we talked
We're
to
going on
DiCaprio.
best
Could you
terms.
call him later and ask him? No, I was gonna say that film is gonna be like hundreds of millions of dollars, you know? And if they can get your place for free, they'll take it for free, you know? And I just feel like, I kind of feel a little protected, you know? I feel like, okay, great that you did it for us, thank you, but it's a gorgeous place. I mean, guys, didn't it look great on the film?
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. I see absolutely no reason why somebody with $100 million to spend for a film shouldn't give you $1,000 a day. right? Am I?
Absolutely. I think, you know, if I can kind of like be in the middle of that, is the inspiration for local filmmakers and musicians to get their first movie done, you know, or get their stuff done. You know, that's amazing. That opportunity will come again for an independent filmmaker. But now that this team here has joined the big leagues, you know, I think the opportunity and the inspiration to come back and, you know, spend other people's money to make a movie is, you know, what I love to do, you know, and with the team. So I think there's an opportunity here for this community to continue getting work from the outside, and this serving as a calling card for that is going to be extremely exciting. But your local filmmakers, you know, will come to you, and then you make that decision. But next time we come back, I agree, you know, there's going to be, you know, a budget driven by the folks in the South or wherever the money comes from. So,
Yeah.
but spending it locally, I think, is what Patricia is finding very important.
Yeah, and I just also, I want to point out, okay, so like Joshua Malekos, for example, is now doing a lot of other things. He flew up just for this, but he's down in LA working on another movie. You know, once this gets out, I mean, those two leads in particular, I think they were all great actors, but the two leads in particular, just like, they looked like they were in love. They looked, you know, all of it. He's a really great guy. He's not at all like Johnny, so the acting is really good.
Don't be afraid to say hello.
Right, he's right in the back there. But, you know, we negotiated for everybody a really, really small salary, and people did it with the hopes that this is going to be on streaming, that people are going to see it. It is a calling card for them. And, you know, we had other help too. There's Dean, Aaron, people gave us stuff, things like, what did they give us? You know, some of the things they gave us.
Well, like the last shot of the film, when she's on the roof, that shot was got from it's called a doorway dolly. It's a cart on tracks, and then there was actually a 12-foot crane on top of that. And so the dolly came from Dean, and the crane came from a buddy of mine, Aaron. And
How much did they charged us practically nothing.
Dean was free.
Yeah.
Dean is my mentor, by the way.
Free? People got paid?
You didn't.
I mean, so, you know, I just feel like we did this, and I don't wanna, I wanna pay Joshua what he's worth, I wanna pay Cody what he's worth, you know, that's just how I feel about it. Hopefully, next time we'll be able to do that.
Yeah, just pay Joshua, and that's when he can get more underwear.
I assume you're related to Joshua.
Oh, no. But, I mean, he was in his underwear a lot in this movie.
It was.
He was very determined to be, we couldn't stop him.
There's a funny story about that underwear. We had to keep finding pieces of tape for that underwear.
I think we have a question in the front. that you
Okay,
can ask.
sorry, who?
So,
Yes.
I just wanted to say, you know, it's one of the places for location for seeing at Duke's Painter. You know, it came at a time when we were in COVID, and we were actually closed. And so just to have the opportunity for you guys to come and do a couple of scenes there, it really gave me something to look forward to as an owner, you know. I was going out of my mind and nuts with not knowing from one day to the next whether we were gonna be open or not, but to have this project come into Duke's and then to actually use the name Duke's in the movie, I really do appreciate that. And I think that,
It's really nice.
you know, for the energy that was put into that film, you know, money is always important, but I think the energy really revealed itself through this
Thank you.
production.
Well, your hospitality made that was actually one of our, I think that was our second day, well, actually, no, it was our first day of shooting, was Duke's. That was actually, all we had shot, Cody, correct if I'm wrong, I think, all we had shot before was we had shot, Farmer Takahashi finding the pile of dirt, which was a couple hours that we did on Cody's parents' orchard. And then we did Lyvia on the roof, which was the first thing we ever shot. And then our first day of principal proper photography with, you know, dialogue and actual, you know, narrative stakes was at Duke's. And your hospitality very much made me someone who's very nervous about taking on a room full of extras, and we just felt very welcome. So just thank you, feelings mutual. Thank you so much.
You made my friends movie stars, and I appreciate that.
Oh,
Yourself too, because you're in it.
Yeah, you also saved my butt big time. I didn't tell you this, because we had SAG actors, and you're required 2 hot meals a day. And I did all the cooking. If I, trying to save money, huge undertaking, would probably not do it again, but, so Cody told me, because my plan was that I was gonna cook food the day before and just bring it there, and he said, you can't do that. He was explaining to me that SAG doesn't allow you to do that. And I was just thinking, what the hell am I gonna do? Because I have to be there. There were a lot of extras, and they're not extras, they're people that said, yes, we'll be in your movie, so you have to explain things to them like, don't look at the camera, and when you're talking, like, you have to basically teach them how to be extras. Everybody was great, by the way, and that. But that was my job. That was supposed to be my job. I was what do they call, an extras wrangler or something like that? Everybody who does anything like without you're an animal wrangler or whatever, I was the extra, what is it? Yeah. So that was what I was supposed to do. I'm like, how the hell am I gonna get out of here in order to go home and cook something fresh? You know, it has to be fresh, it has to be right there. And she cooked for us. She cooked for everybody in the diner.
So the best craft service I would say.
It was delicious, and I don't like fruit pie, but she said, just try my strawberry pie, it's like my favorite thing now. She did it was really wonderful. You and Elizabeth, right?
Wait till you try our pineapple.
All right.
I was sad there wasn't chili.
Oh, the chili
Oh,
is
we'll
good.
come back.
Yeah.
The chili's so good.
Yes, I remember when somebody ate one of the props in the strawberry pie.
Oh, that's right, it was one of the actors who did
Yeah,
it,
somebody
right?
ate the prop.
And I ate it, I didn't know you were still gonna
Yes.
use it, right?
Speaking from the community, we gave to you for your film, but we will forever claim you as ours. So you're giving back to us.
I wasn't born here, so thank you very much. I've lived in a lot of places, you know, I was born in New York, never really felt, I liked it, it was fine, never really felt like I really found my place there. Then I went to Greece, it was beautiful, always, you know, felt like as much as I loved it, I didn't feel completely accepted, and then when I came, I was in the Bay Area, same thing, and it was only when I came up here that I really felt like, yeah, I really like this.
It's a special place and special community,
really
and
is.
we'll be happy to claim you as ours.
Thank you, I very much appreciate that. So,
Microphone drop on that.
yeah, right?
Nice.
So,
Should we close on that?
yes.
Yeah,
I think
that's crushing right there. That's-
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming and being here. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you all.